शन्नो मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We have been looking at the three orders, what we call the three orders of reality. Starting with the individual, the first order of the reality is what? I see it, therefore it must be there. Subjective reality. A reality that is whose raw materials are one's own preferences, prejudices, memories, trauma, desires. Just like the spider weaves the web, one weaves the web of one's own notions. It's a notional web. The spider is cleverer because when the spider weaves the web, it weaves the web for flies and other insects. When the jiva weaves the web, guess who gets trapped? Oneself gets trapped. And trapped in these notions, whose root cause, of course, is self-ignorance, ajnanam. But as we have seen in the human being, the ajnanam becomes anyatha ajnanam. This is what the Mandukya Upanishad talks about very beautifully. Acharya Shankara, Adi Shankara talks about this in the Bhashya very, very nicely. For all other beings, there is just self-ignorance. I do not know my own glory. I do not know I am Brahman. But for the human being, I do not know my own glory. Therefore, I must be Gauri, L silent. This mistake, this series of mistakes made on the self, the root cause is, of course, I don't know what it is. Therefore, it is a distorted perception. Like when we go to the, what is that called? Amusement park. Different mirrors are there. One of them, you look larger than life. In the other one, you look upside down. In the third one, it is all funny. One looks wide, one looks, funny faces, etc. So this is and you can do that even with a computer. You don't need the mirror. In fact, is an outdated example. Somebody sent me a photo of themselves, and it was not recognizable at all. They had made the eyes come out like that in the photo. Some special effects. Everybody can do it. You don't have to have some, Photoshop and all these things. Without shop, you can do this. So the eyes were coming out, and this became like a bird's face, and then it was all looking very funny. This is the jiva's version of himself or herself. And from here, we cannot go to Paramarthika. This is the first step, is to acknowledge that I suffer from subjective perception. I need to acknowledge that. Acknowledging is not enough. I need to have a desire to come out of that. That's the second thing. Acknowledge, yeah, I have subjective perception. Therefore, what? I'm going to subject you to my subjective perception. That's not okay. I have to want to come out of it. And then that is when the Upanishad helps us with this two-step program. The first step is to recognize that I'm living 95% of the time in this reality. Except when I'm asleep, I'm one with Ishvara. There is no subjectivity there. So the second step is what the Upanishad says. For the Upanishad, that's the first step, because it assumes that we have done some housework and swept away these cobwebs of difficult memories, desires, pains, sorrows, trauma, etc. We've done the homework, it assumes. That is why Shama, Dama, all these things, all the prerequisites are listed. So then the Upanishad gives a two-step program. It's very interesting, the Taittiriya Upanishad itself. It has the same verse, only the last line is different. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kadachaneti. This is the first step. We'll translate. The second step looks identical. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan. And you start zoning out. Okay, I've heard this before. It's in a language I don't even understand. Why bother? Sounds exactly the same. Na bibheti kutascha neti. Do you see the difference? Na bibheti kadachaneti. That's the first step. Na bibheti kutaschaneti. Second step. Only one word is difference. Here it says kadachana na bibheti. The other one says what? Kutaschana na bibheti. So kada and kutaha. That's all. First of all, what is this saying? This is talking about how to understand Brahman. There's a two-step way, two-step process of assimilating this knowledge. The first thing to know is that it is not a product that can be caught by the mind or the speech. Mind and speech are great friends. It's like the, what do we say? It's like the lame man riding on the shoulders of a blind man, and they go places. The lame man can see, can't walk. The blind man can walk, can't see. So they kind of complement one another. And then the lame man stops the blind man from falling into a ditch. And the blind man helps the lame man across. This is the kind of partnership between and the speech. The mind is in great awe of speech. Oh my God. All these complex thoughts you give voice to, you articulate. You know how to write books. Oh, speech, you are great. And speech says, I am just a ghost writer. The ideas are you. Everything is you. Look at how complex ideas you have. They have a mutual appreciation society going. Who? Mind and speech. One day they set out to catch Brahman. They said, together we can do anything. Because the hubris starts like this. They were living in their own subjectivity. We can do anything. What a team we are. We are invincible. We can do anything completely. Let us loose. Everybody says, oh, we don't know Brahman. We don't know how to understand Brahman. So difficult, so hard to live this knowledge, so hard to gain this knowledge. We'll show everybody. We'll bring Brahman. By the horns, we'll drag Brahman and show them. So they said to everybody, you know what? We are both setting out on a task to get Brahman. The villagers were very happy. Really? Yes, such a big task you're undertaking. Yes. So they did arati, they gave them a farewell, put malas on them. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe, go safely and come back. And they gave them a wonderful farewell. And they went, and wherever they looked, couldn't find Brahman. Mind said, I don't know, something is off, something is wrong, I'm not able to catch it. It's just there, but it's not there, and it's there, and it's not there. Is it me? Is it not me? What is this? And speech said, you know what? Speech said to itself. Speech, vak is feminine. She said to herself, you know what? This fellow is just full of himself. Let me just have a go at it. Brahman is, again, no words came. No words can describe, no words can define. Even Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, we saw they were signposts. They were just indicatory words, lakshana. They just lead to me, who is self-evident, whose nature we are talking about, and so therefore the speech also was defeated. While going, they made a big deal and they announced their departure. While coming back, what? In failure, no success. Slowly they sneaked back into their tents. Okay? And that was the end of that. This is what these two verses says. Yataha yasmat karanat, from which causeless cause, vacho nivartante, the speech comes back. Aprapya, not having gained Brahman, that causeless cause, not having gained it as an object, the speech beats a retreat. Along with its friend, the mind, manasa saha. But what is this Brahman? Anandam Brahma. Anandam, the person, Brahmano Vidwan, the knower of Brahman, knows this Brahman as what? Anandam Brahma, as the most joyous thing there is. And as a result, na bibheti, does not fear. Does not fear how? Why? What does not fear? Kadachana, at any time. This is the first level of assimilation of this knowledge, meaning living in the vyavaharikam jagat, living in the transactional reality, how I should lead my life is talked about by this particular verse. This is Ananda, and this Ananda, how do I live? First, I step out of the subjectivity, and then I can't. How to step out of the subjectivity? It's all around me. It is in me. I am, marinated in it. So how to come out? The only way is Ishvara Pranidhanam. Surrender to Ishvara. Ishvara Pranidhanam. Surrender to Bhagavan. How to surrender to Bhagavan? Where is Bhagavan? Who to surrender to? Whatever is infallible in my life, whatever is invincible in my life, whatever I cannot prevent, whatever I cannot change, is God. This is what God is. It's not, as I told you, a guy in the sky. Oh, but whatever I can't change means it is fatalism. No, try, keep trying. No, but I'm not succeeding. Okay, then see it as Bhagavan. At least for today. Maybe tomorrow you will succeed in changing it. It doesn't matter. So therefore, the understanding of Bhagavan, we don't say God is infallible. We say whatever is infallible is God. This is amazing. So recognizing that, I come face to face with my own karmic results, the results of my own karma, which I cannot accept. That I have to be able to see as Bhagavan. And we talked a lot about the inner child yesterday, and in the morning and in the evening. And there must be a place. There must be a daycare center for these things. Where to leave this? Always it is after me, always it is tiring me out, always it is very demanding. Take it to Bhagavan. That is the nursery. Bhagavan and Bhagavati, the parents of the universe, that is the nursery where the inner child can be kept. I surrender, meaning I am helpless in the face of this emotion. The emotion is the inner child. I am helpless in the face of this pain. I am helpless in the face of this sorrow. I am helpless. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I don't know where to go. And therefore, I have to let it go. The surrender involves, you can't just surrender to something without having a relationship to it first. So Bhagavan means it has to come alive. It has to come alive for whom? For me. Bhagavan has to come alive. Therefore, we start with a small altar, an altar of surrender, which alone has the power to alter me. That's why it's called altar. And it changes me. Why? Because I let go of all my pains and sorrows. And this relationship with Ishvara becomes super therapy. Why is it super therapy? First of all, it is free, okay? You don't have to pay for it. Second of all, even the therapists are fallible. So the marriage and family therapist says, I need a month off. Why? Because I'm having troubles in my own marriage. Possible. So therefore, the therapist can be late one day, either online or offline. The therapist can fall sick. And so many things can happen. Fallibility is there. With Bhagavan, totally infallible. And with the therapist, you have to behave. You can't yell at the therapist. That will be the last therapy then. But you can yell at Bhagavan. At least in our tradition, it is allowed. What were you thinking? This becomes a prayer. You don't have any idea what you're doing. You gave me this kind of a life. Terrible life. You gave me lemons and now you want me to make, what is that called? Lemonade, yes. And then I cut them and they're all dry, no juice lemons. Not even juicy they are. What were you thinking? How could you do this? And adding insult to injury, all the other people see over there, sitting over here, sitting over there, and in this city and in this country and in this town, they seem to be fine. Only I have the worst lot. Why did you do this to me? This is all a prayer. This is not blasphemy. This is a prayer. In fact, one of the holiest prayers, Sri Rudram, starts off like this. It sees Bhagavan as the hunter. Arey, I thought I was the experienced hunter. Yes, you are the experienced hunter, but Bhagavan is hunting you in the form of the karma phala data, the giver of the results of action. So Rudra, the fierce one. Rudra means, it's very interesting. The word Rudra has two derivations. The first derivation is the one who makes everyone cry. Rodayati sarvan. How? Because gives the karma phala. Even when you don't, no, I've had enough. I've had 2 helpings today. No. No, today only. Some more. Dishes out the karma phala, makes you cry. Rodayati sarvan, makes you cry when? All the time. And then the second meaning is Rudanam Dravayati, meaning the tears which are flowing first makes the tears flow and then takes a hanky and wipes them. What kind of a God are you? First you make me cry and then you become hanky Bhagavan. You know? Actually, you should be called hanky panky Bhagavan because you're doing, what kind of a thing is this? First, you make me cry. This is from the subjective orientation of the jiva. That's why the word Rudra has these two derivations. First, you make me cry, and then you come to wipe the tears. And then only much later, after the 11th Anuvaka, the 11th subsection, I understand, oh, I was crying because of my own issues. Nobody made me cry. My own karma made me cry. I was drowning in the pool of my own karma. Afterwards, I realized, because I have grown up chanting this holy, shloka, mantras. Because why is it holy? Because there are 300 words for surrender in the first portion of the Rudra. Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. 300 Namahas are there. It's like, and in the tradition, when we are learning it, each time you hear the word Namaha, you have to do a Namaskara. Afterwards, the legs and hands, everything is aching. 300 Namaskaras. You fall flat on the floor. Each time you hear the word Namaha, you go like that. So, Bhagavan is the hunter. Hunting you out. You means the jiva. So, hunting the jiva out to give the karma phala. And how is the karma phala? A poison tipped arrow. And Bhagavan is with the bow. Where? That's how the Sri Rudram opens. And then this is all the imagination of the trasta. Trasta means the tortured one. The tortured jiva who cannot handle their life. Why is it like this? It's all upside down. And then the hunter is coming. Where are you? I have you in my sights. I cannot hide. The only thing to say is Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. And to this Rudra, whoever you are, Namaha. Hanky God, Namaha. And you look really angry. This is our own anthropomorphization. Just like you do to the pets. Oh, Kitty looks sad today. Yeah. If Kitty looks sad today, only question to ask is how long Kitty has been with you. Okay? Yeah. That's the only thing to ask. Kitty is not looking sad. There is a transference going on. One's own sadness is being superimposed upon doggy, kitty, even the fish in the tank. We can take it very far. And we can take it to the altar of Bhagavan also. Oh, Bhagavan looks angry. Oh, look at him, he looks angry. So what does the person who is mired in subjectivity say? Namaha to your anger. Actually, it's my anger. It's not his anger. Poor Bhagavan. Namaha, I surrender to your anger. Wherever you are, you look terrified and you look terrible. And I am frightened of you. And look at these big arms. It's like that story. What is that? Red Hood. No. What is that? Huh? Riding Hood, yes. And so it's like this Riding Hood story. You have such big arms. What for? All the better to hunt you down with, my dear. Rudra, I imagine saying. Namaha to your arms. And you look angry. Namaha to your anger. And then what do you have in your hand? Oh my God, it's a terribly huge bow. Do you need such a big bow? Anyhow, Namaha to your bow. And then that arrow is for me? Oh no, it must not be for me. Well, it is for me because I went here, the arrow turned there. I tried to escape there, the arrow is still coming here, pointed. Wherever I go, it's pointing towards me. So it must be for me. Okay, reluctant namaha to the arrow also. And then I say, you know what? This person has been very bad. Like the Santa Claus, who has been naughty, who has been nice, like that. This person has been very, very bad. Go over here. Why are you coming after me? And then my language gets even more agitated. Are you mad? Are you blind? This is all is there in the Rudram. What's wrong with you? And they say that you have so much vairagya and you are completely whatever. Have vairagya from me and my karma phala, go. You see, the subjectivity itself, when it is turned, the anguish, when it is turned into prayer, becomes objective. I'm no longer looking at my pain, my sorrow, my fear, my want. I'm not in a solipsistic bubble. What am I doing? I have Ishwarized my karma phala. I have Ishwarized. Is that a word? Yes, it is. Yeah, now it is. I have Ishwarized my anger. I have Ishwarized my sorrow. I have Ishwarized my pain. Suddenly, after chanting the Rudram, especially after knowing the meaning, I feel a whole lot better. Until the next day. That's why it is said, you have to chant this every day. If you don't know how to chant it, doesn't matter. Listen to it every day. Every single day, listen to it. Listen to it means let it just operate on you. Because it's a very, very deep prayer. It's actually a prayer, the cry of the heart. It encapsulates the cry of the heart. And you see that it is all so subjective. I am saying God is angry. I am saying God is out to get me. I am saying God doesn't love me and therefore all the other people are going scot-free and I am the one in your crosshairs of the bow and the arrow. What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this to me? This is all my own subjectivity. But it is being directed towards the limitless Brahman. It is being directed towards that which is infallible. And who is the one who is praying? The limited is invoking the limitless. And in these two things happen. First thing that happens is that from subjectivity I enter the realm of objectivity already in this prayer through my own devotion. My devotion becomes the bridge between subjectivity and objectivity. How? Just because I have expressed this pain. And when I write out the pain, when I cry out the pain, then it becomes a universal cry. Then very soon I realize that it's not just my pain. Everybody is worried about this Rudra. Everybody is worried about the wrong karma coming and taking away, rolling up all my dreams, my desires, my ambitions. Always I'm precariously positioned. Any time I can lose my security, I can lose my any kind of confidence that I have. And this precariousness makes me humble. The recognition of this precariousness. I am on the precipice. My bhakti, my devotion is also flawed. It is also on the precipice. It makes me humble. And humility is a great opening to learning and being. The second way it makes it objective and transformative prayers is because who is the one that is praying? The one that is besotted with various notions of limitations. I am not good enough. And therefore all our 108 names says to the one that is limitless, Namaha. Limitlessaya Namaha. all-powerful Namaha, the one who is all-powerful, Namaha. Who is praying? Who is saying this? The one who has no power at all. I am immersing. I choose to immerse my notions of limitations into this sea of limitlessness. Then what happens? If limited merges into the limitless, what is left? What is left? Limitless. It's like putting a Himalayan salt crystal into the ocean. What happens? Nothing happens. All that there is the ocean. What was the Himalayan salt crystal? An ocean. An ocean has become one with the ocean. This is the second thing. That's why the Ashtottaras, the 108 names, with 1008 names, how many ever names that we have, all the names point to certain attributes of Bhagavan which I don't have. And so this step brings me closer to living in the objective reality. I come out of the subjective reality because I have made this pain into a social fact. It is outside of me. I'm able to look at it. I'm able to pray out this pain. I'm able to surrender. I'm able to accept. I get to the place of acceptance. No, I can't accept. You know what I always say. If you can't accept, it's okay, because there is a upaya, a remedy. What's the remedy? Accept your non-acceptance. That's the remedy. Oh, but I can't accept my non-acceptance. Then what to do? Accept the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance. Oh, but I can't accept the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance. Okay, accept the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance of the non-acceptance. Do you want me to go further? No. Thank God. That was tiring. Somewhere I have to accept. If I embrace the non-acceptance, that itself is objectivity. I'm saying I cannot accept right now. Okay, I'm accepting that I cannot accept. That itself is an acceptance. It's wonderful. It's brilliant. Then I start to live firmly in the world which it is there and therefore I see it. What was the other world I just came out of? I see it, therefore it must be there. All that was a headstand. Okay, yeah, now you are standing straight up. And now, it's like what is that? We have a story. In India we have those small, what are they called? Lizards? Geckos. They go like that. So then there was a mother gecko and a baby gecko, and then this chit sound came. And so the child asked the mother, "What is that, mummy and baby? What are they talking about?" And so the mother says in this story to the child, "They are wondering why we are walking upside down because they are in the ceiling." That is the subjective reality. Now I'm right side up, I'm understanding things better. I'm living in Bhagavan's world. I am not living in my own fearful horror movie. Nightmare. Even when I'm not asleep, it's a nightmare. This subjective reality. And I have come out of that and I'm firmly living in the empirical world. Now I have come out of the rabbit hole. What is that like? So bright, so wonderful. And here I thought everybody is against me. But you know what? They are just busy. They just don't have time. Maybe they are absent-minded. That's why they forgot to say hello. Maybe they are having a difficult day. That's why they did not smile. You see, it's not that I'm trying to make excuses and I'm trying to be codependent. I see this. Before, oh, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nobody said hello, nobody paid attention, nobody gave me the time of day, nobody did this, nobody did that. It's all me, I'm all by myself. And here I find I'm not all by myself at all. Everybody is living their lives. I'm also living the life. Everything is Ishvara. That's why it's bright, glorious, and most importantly, it is a benign reality. It is not a reality that is out to get me. What happened to the hunter? In the middle of the Rudram, gone. The first and a little bit of the second chapter has the hunter imagery. After that, the jiva grows up, grows out of this reality. And we find that it is just a series of namaha to everything there. To the water carriers, namaha, to the sunrise, namaha, to the sunset, namaha, to the moon, namaha, namaha to the trees which have leaves, namaha to the trees that do not have leaves. Everything is sacred, everything is holy, everything is worthy of my surrender because it is all so glorious. I become a glory singer and I become a devotee. Without this step, we can kiss the knowledge of the self goodbye. This is the most important step, even though it's an interim step, it is the most important step. I have to come out of the doldrums of my own subjectivity and inhabit the world that is objective. Nowhere in the Shastra we say the world is sad. No, the world is Ananda. We don't say the world is the cause of sadness. No, the world is Ananda, Brahmananda. It has come from Ananda. In fact, your own body, mind, sense complex has come from the Ananda experienced by the parents. Everything has come from Ananda. It is just so beautiful if we look at it. The source of everything in the Jagat, starting with this body, is Ananda. So the world is Ananda, it is not Dukkha. And if I see it otherwise, I have to have cataract surgery. Because I have to remove the obstruction. I'm living in my own subjective reality, that means. So the world is Ananda, it's not out to get me. Therefore, Anandam Brahma, Anandam Brahma na bibheti. The person Vidwan na bibheti. Na bibheti means he is not afraid. When? At any time. Kadachana na bibheti. Kadachana na bibheti means he is not afraid at any time. Why is the Vidwan, the person of this knowledge of how to live in the objective reality, not afraid at any time? There is a very important reason. And that reason is this, that one feels protected. One feels the protection of Ishvara and one has given one's life to Ishvara. One knows no wrong can come to a devotee. Bhagavad Gita says this, Name bhaktaha pranashyati. My devotee is never, ever, ever destroyed. And so when I am a devotee, I know this. I'm completely in this and I will be taken care of. Na bibheti kadachana iti. This is the phala, this is the fruit of an objective life. This is the fruit of finally deciding to open my eyes from the subjective life to the objective reality. Finally, I have made the transition. This is a very, very important step. Here too there is a landmine because complacency can set in. And then, the Ishvara awareness is very good, prayer is very good, everything is wonderful. And then what? The prayer, the devotion, the bhakti is preparing me for a life of mukti. Bhakti is the preparation for this freedom which I seek. Otherwise, I am locked into the final duality, me and Bhagavan. And this is very difficult to get out of. Because one starts to feel responsible. One starts to feel guilty. Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I have some duties towards Bhagavan. But again, one perseveres in this knowledge. And then one changes the tenor. How does one grow out of this needing Bhagavan's protection? One grows out of it by changing the tenor of one's prayers. Before it was, you are my 911. This is how it is. You are on speed dial. Anything happens, I'm going to come to you, Bhagavan. You need to fix this. You need to help me with this. You need to give me this. I have a whole list. Give me this, give me that, give me this, and after that, give me a few of this. And then teach these people a lesson and tell them, give them wisdom. Make them be more benign towards me. Let these people not be inimical towards me. These are all the Vedic prayers from the first portion of the Veda, which talks about all this. So I am an asker, I am a beggar at this altar, and I just keep asking for this, that, and the other. This is okay, but it is an interim step. Without upsetting the bhakti, I have to change the tenor of the prayers. All the asks are now resolved into one thing I ask for. And this is what is called the prayer of a mumukshu. What kind of shu? Yeah, the one who is seeker of freedom. Mumukshu. Jignasu, the seeker of knowledge. There is only one prayer. Let all the obstacles to living this knowledge, to gaining this knowledge, recede, O Lord, O Goddess. I stop asking for things. Why? Because I have understood that all these things which I ask for, even if I get them, are not going to make me happy. In fact, we have a caveat like that. Be careful what you ask for because you may get it. And then you're stuck with it. Can't even get rid of it. So therefore I stop asking for things. There's only one prayer. Let this self-ignorance go. Put me in a conducive place for this knowledge. Let me gain this knowledge. Let my relationship with my teachers not be disturbed. Let the Shastra forever grace me and bless me. That should be the only prayer. And in that prayer is also another desire. What is the desire? Let me no longer live in my own parallel reality. There is the flow called Bhagavan and there is the flow called Jiva. Jiva's flow is just very difficult. It dries up. It is constantly under pressure. It is a spin-off, a very bad spin-off. It's a failed spin-off that is leading only to a dead end. Why? Because the jiva's agency, the jiva's free will, the jiva's actions, and the jiva's results of actions are all inhibited by the order of karma. Inhibited. In every way, I check, I am finite, financially limited, strength-wise limited, everything limited. So when the limited jiva puts effort, the results are what? Limited. So therefore, if I have my own flow, it will be limited, it will come to an end. This flow cannot survive. And secondly, if my flow is going contrary to the flow which I call Bhagavan, that flow itself is Bhagavan. That's how we have this expression, go with the flow. That flow is Bhagavan. If I refuse to go with the flow, then the flow is not disturbed. I am at a loss. I am the loser. Therefore, I go with the flow. Oh, the flow is boring. That's because of my own non-understanding, I call it boring. The flow is terrible. Again, because of my non-understanding, I call it terrible. It is neither boring nor terrible, it simply is. In the beginning, I have to deliberately go with the flow. Then I feel and I find that I cannot do otherwise. It becomes natural to go with the flow. One Ishvara, one flow. And the prayer then becomes, let me find that groove. Let me find that groove. You have given me free will. You have given me all these talents. Let me be the instrument. Let me find this, let me find my place in your scheme of things. Let me discover my purpose. Let me not have my own agenda when all the time from start to finish, and then grieve as a result. If I have my own agenda, I am again subjecting myself to this subjectivity. I learn to let go. I learn to go with the flow. And you know what happens when you go with the flow? You become the flow. This is what is there in the second prayer. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasah anandam brahmano vidwan na bibheti. Here all, there also na bibheti. I am not afraid. In the objective reality, I am no longer afraid. Because in the subjective reality is a place of fear. I'm afraid of everything, starting with my own reflection, and so therefore it is a frightening place. In the objective reality, when I inhabit the objective reality, I feel protected, I feel nurtured, I feel hugged, I feel whole. From there, I see that, because I am in the protection of Ishvara. But it's still a duality. Myself and Ishvara hanging out. This is still a duality. I have to take one more step. I have to understand that this Ishvara is what? Me. This Vidwan in the Upanishad being discussed, Vidwan means the person of self-knowledge, has understood this, has gone that other step, has recited and prayed the creed of the mumukshu, the prayer of the seeker of freedom, the seeker of knowledge. Let there be more of you, O Ishvara, at any given time, and less of me. More of you means more objectivity. Less of me, less anger, less fear, less horror, less subjectivity. More of you means more Rama. Less of me means less drama. Okay? More Rama, less drama is good. And then what? That is how I resolve this. First, the subjective reality is resolved into the objective reality, and then the objective reality, in the objective reality, I discover myself as one committed to this self-knowledge and as a seeker of freedom. And with the help of the self-knowledge, with the teacher teaching and me assimilating this knowledge, I can finally say, Vidwan na bibheti. The knower of this knowledge is never ever afraid. Why? Kutaschana. Kutaschana may be a small word. Kutaschana means bhaya hetu abhavat. Because there is no source, no second thing. In order to be afraid, at least you need one more thing other than you. That's why one is even afraid of God in the beginning. That's why the preposition of comes. I am afraid of. That whatever comes after that of is other than me. So if there is something other than me, that becomes the cause of fear. Dvaitadhi bhayam bhavati. We saw this. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and our own Upanishad, the Taittiriya Upanishad, also says what? The udaram antaram kurute athatasya bhayam bhavati. Even if I make the difference between myself and another, a razor's edge difference, a lot of fear comes. Here the Vidwan has given up fear completely. The fear has disappeared from the person of knowledge because there is no cause of fear. The cause of fear has been removed. Even Ishvara is not the cause of fear. Even the other jivas are not the cause of fear. The Jagat is not the cause of fear because there is nothing other than oneself. Wherever I go, wherever I look, I see my own reflection. Wherever I go, I am one with whatever I see because it is just an extension of nothing other than me. This is the final, ultimate step. Understanding that I am one with everything, there is nothing other than me, no fear. It's a place of no fear means it's a place of Ananda. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.